What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be reviewing this 2021 Toyota Innova, better known as the Crista in some other countries, and let's see what it's got. Well, this one's no ordinary Innova, as you can tell, so let's see what's special about it. Let's do this. Alright, we're going to review this premium MPV here, which is so popular in Indonesia. And why did I say premium? Well, you guys are going to find out soon enough. Well, you can tell that this Innova has gone through a lot of cosmetic changes, so we'll dive deep into that a little bit, alright? So let's start in the front end, as usual. So right here we've got our massive grille, even from the factory, but this one has been fitted with some JSL products. Like you can tell, the headlight garnish over here and the grille, so it's matte black. It really flows with the nice black color of the car. And Toyota has redesigned their headlights for a lot of their new generation cars, so you can see that right over here for the Innova as well. Right here on the side you got your 16-inch wheel, and it's covered in 205/65s. I would say this wheel is kind of too small for the car, being family MPV and whatnot, but it's also lightweight and it makes great for efficient driving anyways. And over to the side here we've got an aftermarket over fender, which is from JSL as well. And over here to the side we've got our mirror covers. Most of you guys who watch our channel already know that we just have a good flow of like modifying the whole cosmetics of the car, even from the exterior. Here to the side is a pretty basic MPV looking car, I would say. It's got your 4 doors, your 7 seats, but what's special about this one is that it's got your door handle covers, your door garnishes, and you've got those black chrome actually, side moldings. So it makes the car a little bit more unique than the ones you would see on the road from factory. And going to the rears is a nice lift back over here. It's a pretty huge trunk and it lifts, like, it takes a lot of space to just lift it up though. So it might not be the best for tight spaces like for the smaller MPVs we have reviewed in the past, but with a big trunk it comes a lot of cargo space, so we're gonna check that out a little bit. Alright, so if you take a look here, there's a massive amount of space in the trunk. So you can see there's a lot of space here in the cargo, and you can fit your camera gears, that's ours over there, and you could fit plenty more over here. And the seats fold up and they hook up just right here, so you can fold them down really easily. And this is your access for the spare tire. It'll just go down as you turn it using the tool Toyota has provided you, like this one. And we've got our JSL scuff plate in the rears, and we've also got your taillight garnishes, I forgot to mention. And if we go to the side, to the other side, we've got the same basically from the other side, but I forgot to mention about the drum brakes in the rears. So this car still uses drum brakes. It's kind of outdated, but it actually does the job pretty well, stopping this high torque monster. And in the front, however, you got ventilated discs, so it kind of makes up for the drums in the rears. So now let's check out the interior. All right, so for the interior, this is where the premium feel comes to play. So going in the interior, I am greeted with a nice 3-spoke steering wheel over here with all your toggle buttons, your volume, your reverse, your modes, and your telephone buttons. And in the cluster we've got a nice blue accent, really promoting that efficiency theme the car is going for. And everything else, the operating system is still pretty basic. There's nothing much into it. However though, I would like to mention the amount of storage in this car is amazing, because you got your cup holder here and you've got your cup holder over there and stuff to store things in here, and you've got this little cubby over here, your basic 12-volt socket, And you got two more cup holders over here, and you got another cup holder over here, so you could really haul a lot of cups in this car, right? So, and you've got your infotainment system over here. It is pretty basic. It's got Bluetooth and your radio and pretty basic stuff, USB. As for the climate, it's also pretty standard. It is still knob operated, which I really like, and you still get that little soft touch analog feel. And over here, that's what's interesting, is that you've got two glove boxes. So on top here is for your manual book. You can store some other thing over there, and in the bottom you got your basic glove box, and there's also a fire extinguisher in there in case anything happens in terms of an accident. We've got your seats over here. It's pretty nice and bolstered in the backrest. However, you can tell that this seat is not actually factory. So this seat has been retrimmed by Autotivel, which is a licensed dealer of JSL. It's located here in Jakarta, Indonesia. And they actually did a really good job. I mean, all the patterns, they still look OEM. They don't look too flashy, which I kind of dig actually. So what's premium about this car is that all the build quality is not what you would get in your regular low-end Toyota models like the Avanza and the Veloz and some other things that we have reviewed. So this is an interesting one right here, and also the engine option, which I'll get into a little bit. So now let's check out the rears first. Alright, going in the rear is where the premium feel extends. So right here, I've got a really huge room, both for my head and my knees. And this is basically to fit your whole family without them getting cramped up in the rear. Okay, so you got your little elbow rest over here. I'm not even gonna get into it. Hold on, it's a bit hard. And right here, you got your cup holders again. More cup holders. And also, this particular model, the Ventura, you got a little tray table over here. It's like you're in an airplane and you get your airplane food, maybe food from home. You can just continue eating while someone's driving you to work or wherever. And you've got your cup holders here again, which is a pretty substantial theme right now, apparently. So right here you got a monitor. You can watch your movies over there. It's hooked up by SD card or USB, so maybe something nice for your kids to watch. And right here, another more premium feel is that you got a little ambient lighting running across the roof of the rear passenger seats, and you got your AC system, which is toggled by this nice soft touch buttons over here, and you can control your ambient lighting using the brightness over here. And you've got a nice reading light on the side. So there's a lot of creature comforts in this car, and I'm really comfortable sitting in the rears, which I wouldn't mind going on like 8-hour road trip sitting back here, you know. It's not getting cramped up or anything. Well, that's it for the interior. Now let's check out the engine bay. Alright, now let's get to the interesting part of the car. Personally, my favorite is the engine bay. So right off the bat, I could tell this hood is really heavy compared to most other low-end Toyota models I have reviewed. And what's sitting underneath this particular model is Toyota's 2GD 2.4 turbo diesel engine. It's an inline-4, and it pushes around 147 horsepower, which is, I mean, that's kind of okay, but what's crazy about this thing is that it has 360 Newton meters of torque, which is insane for this little inline-4 engine. And apparently here in Indonesia, a lot of tuners are really getting into diesels, and this is the engine of choice. I mean, with a certain tune, you can get maybe around 500 Newton meters, and with a turbo or a bi-turbo change, you're able to get around maybe 600, 650 Newton meters of torque. So this is a torque monster car, definitely crazy. Well, another engine option you can get is the Toyota's 1TR. The 1TR is an inline-4 with only 2 liters, and it pushes around 137 horsepower and just a little bit, maybe 183 Newton meters of torque, which is not that crazy, but if you want efficiency and you want the torque and you want to be a highway monster, this is the one for it. Alright, well, in terms of fuel economy, the diesel engine makes around maybe an average of 16 kilometers per liter, and the other gasoline engine makes around, if I'm not mistaken, around 11 kilometers per liter. Well, this is definitely more efficient and it's got more torque, which is amazing, guys. So, yep, that's just a brief review of the engine. And, you know, what's more interesting is that when we take it out on the test drive. So, let's go. All right, guys, now we're in the car, ready to go for a test drive. Put on the seatbelt first. Safety first, guys. All right, let's go. So, driving this car right off the bat, I mean, you can tell it's got a lot of torque in it, especially for an MPV, which is, I don't know, kind of not necessary, but, you know, being a high-end kind of car, I mean, if not having power, you probably want torque. So, going off, let me just start by making a U-turn here. And right here, I feel a lot of body roll because this is a really heavy car, and it's mainly, most of its weight it's gonna be in the chassis. So yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that it has tons of body roll. The ride's also a little bit bouncy, and in really tough roads, it might go kind of, it's gonna be kind of shaky inside the car, but it's not to the point where it's uncomfortable. It's actually like a more good kind of bouncy, but it's not rigid either. So I mean, this is not a track car or whatever. But yeah, a lot of people actually here in Indonesia, a lot of tuners have been choosing the 2GD diesel engine for a platform and modifying it, making it like a torque monster. So going to like up to 600, 650. I've seen ones with 700 Newton meters of torque, pushing with water methanol injection, but I mean, that's just some crazy builds, isn't it? So yeah, I'll make another U-turn here, and I'm gonna test out how substantial the torque is in its factory form. So it's pushing 360 Newton meters of torque. Let's see why it's such a good platform. All right, let's do a little pull here. Okay, the kickdown works on this car, right? And every shift, you feel it like just hit you in the back a little bit. It's not too crazy, but yeah, I mean, you don't want anything too crazy from factory, right? So this is supposed to be a family car, but it's pretty fun to drive, especially in straight roads, but not so much going side to side. If you're gonna go like doing slalom in this car, that's probably not a good idea because you're just gonna roll over. Because it's a pretty, it's a long wheelbase car. It's rear wheel drive, but it's kind of tall as well. So that might not be the best option. Besides the engine and the drivability of this car, everything else is pretty standard. It's really cool in here, and the ambient of the car, all the dash looks fine. It just makes me comfortable driving it. So as we reviewed earlier, both passengers and drivers are actually being treated nicely by Toyota, because the creature comfort in this car is really nice. And all the cup holders that I mentioned right here, I can access everything. It's not driver oriented, the screen, unlike some other Toyota models. For example, the Race, it's really driver oriented, but this one's just like, it's a family car, so you want everybody to see what's going on, right? Besides that, the suspension is pretty standard. Like I said, it's kind of bouncy, so I'm not gonna dive too deep into that, but it's like pretty standard, so nothing much. So we just hit a bump over there, barely felt it. It's pretty nice, and it's a bit noisy here in the cabin because of the diesel engine, you know how diesels are, but it's not crazy. And highway noises and road noise, it's not that much in this car. It's just like the engine basically. So it's better than hearing some speakers, unlike some, you know, high-end sports car who uses speakers in their to make engine noise. So I'm not up for that. This one is just pure, you know, diesel. It's not the best sounding one, but it's definitely a nice one to drive. Besides that, steering, cornering, everything, like I said, it's not the best because it's a family car. I gotta emphasize that a lot. And besides that, there's really not much else to say about this car, besides the fact I'm just overwhelmed by the crazy amount of torque it has. So it's crazy, and the ambient of the car, the blue lighting and stuff, makes me feel like I'm driving a efficient car, even though it's a diesel. So it's not for, it might not be the best for the environment, but a lot of technology that Toyota develops is they're doing it the best to make it the most efficient and less to create less pollution for the country, right? But if you want 100% efficiency, it would probably be with an EV, which this is not, definitely the opposite. So I've got a lot of road here. I'm just gonna do a pull and then afterwards we're done with the video. So let's go. Yep, I can definitely feel the torque. It's really fun to drive, especially in the straight road. So this is a highway monster. Whenever you're gonna go road tripping, I'm on 3,000 RPMs right now. It's really quick. The torque converter is really smart. It's not those old stupid torque converter. This one has a kick down, so whenever you mash your throttle in, it just revs up really quickly, but does not downshift by itself though, unlike some performance-oriented automatics. But other than that, I would like to end the test drive right here, guys. So, well, I guess this is it. Oh, all right, guys, that was an amazing test drive. So this is where we're gonna end the video. Hope you guys like it. So please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you guys a lot for watching. I'll see you guys next time. JSL, innovating always.